Hello and welcome back to the channel. So I know you guys saw the news about Hallie and DDG, and I'm pretty sure no one was surprised, unfortunately. And I wanted to talk about, and I think we already know, like when it comes to men, they like to humble you with babies and tell you that your worth is lesser because of whatever. So I'm pretty sure everyone's already caught on to that manipulation tactic. But I want to talk about the reason why Hallie, because I really think she's a smart girl, but the reason why she probably fell for some of his tricks. And I know that there's this thing where people get upset when women or whoever, maybe someone's dealing with a family member that's toxic, people get upset when people call them narcissists. Like, oh, you think everyone's a narcissist. Well, nowadays, yeah, you know. And there were times where people didn't have words or tools to describe what was happening to them. But one thing about it is, like Astrological United always says, we can't all be lying, and everybody's saying they're having the same experiences. So I'm gonna get into the signs and stuff like that when it comes to that. And even if someone isn't an arc, if they're toxic at all for whatever reason, they don't deserve to be in your life. And when it comes to Hallie, there was so many things where people tried to like warn her and stuff, but I think because of her strong-headedness, and you know how narcissists are, they'll get you so like entangled with them where you can't just break up. You know what I mean? They get themselves in your everyday lifestyle where um it's really a seduction tactic, honestly. It could work with your boss. It's not just a relationship thing. If your boss is always looking over and you're the one getting the coffee, you're the one doing this, you're the one doing that, when you take a vacation, shit don't move without you. So it's more like a manipulation tactic more than anything. But one of the things I also noticed when it came to him is he always used a tactic of triangulation when it came to his ex. And when he got with Hallie, a lot of people were saying that she's not even his type. Now, at first, I'm thinking, like, oh, like, what? Because she's, maybe not the most lightest skin and she does have natural hair, that maybe people were just, how people are. But I noticed that it's more of a way that they represent themselves. Hal is considered like the good girl, the Disney princess, the vegan, which she isn't anymore. Both of her sisters are actually no longer vegan, which I feel like you don't have to be vegan to be spiritual or anything. I feel like that's bullshit. But certain people do that, and that is a way for them to have their own source of divination, and it works for them. And I think for someone to blindside you and take that away from you, that's definitely spiritually significant. But on the other hand, one of the things that I really noticed that was weird was when he admitted to texting Ruby Rose. He said he did it right in front of her. And I'm like, oh yeah, I know what this is. This is the Madonna-Whore complex. And he's been showing it all throughout when it comes to like his humiliation tactics with her. He would post certain things that would make her, remember I said when you're like a perfect person and people don't have dirt on you, they'll either attack your mental, your hygiene, or they'll run a complete smear campaign on you and make it seem like you're just the opposite of whatever people think that you are. They will make you the opposite of that. And now everyone's starting to say things like, oh, Hallie isn't so innocent, and where do you think that came from? So he would post things about her hygiene. He would post things like all these girls are the same, and that's basically the Madonna-Whore complex, with Ruby being the more of the whore and her being the Madonna with the Disney princess stuff and the sweet voice and all that. You know how it is, how people perceive Hallie, which I always found it funny because Hallie's an Aries and Chloe is a Cancer. I'm an Aries. My sister's a Cancer. Cancers are a little bit more sensitive. They're a little bit more, like Cancers are a lot more, let's just say, sensitive. Aries can be sensitive, but it comes off more like, I don't know, like you want to fight. And I don't know, I'll try to see if I can find the clip, but I don't know if you guys seen the clip of where Hallie thought someone was cussing at her sister and she turned around and gave them the look of death. And I was like, oop, there it is. Because Aries are like, they can be a little bit aggressive. So I always found it funny that Chloe was considered, the more promiscuous one, and Hallie was like the quote unquote innocent one. And I'm like, well, boom, there's the Madonna-Whore complex right there. Women do it to other women too. Because if you look at, both of them seem like decent girls to me. I feel like they're sisters. They grew up the same way. But if you actually, I feel like if you pay attention to them, Hallie is a little bit more boisterous than Chloe. That's why people think that her sexuality isn't authentic, because you can tell she's more of like a sensitive girl, So I always found that funny. But DDG has used that to project onto Halle. He's been doing this in his songs, saying stuff like, oh, I don't know. I don't listen to that boy's music, but he would say things like, are you really as innocent as I think you are? Do you be wanting to fuck your coworkers when you're kissing them on set? Do y'all be doing this, doing that? And then I think what escalated this thing in his mind, and then when he broke up with Ruby Rose, she posted something like, I want my next nigga to be tall. I want to be able to wear heels. And he was like, oh, I want my next bitch to have less than 60 bodies. And then I feel like and then Madonna isn't just, like a pious figure or someone that isn't promiscuous. Madonna represents the Holy Mother. And the fact that he chose to make her the baby mama, it just speaks volumes. Most men will do that. Their type is whores, but they'll find the good girl that has good credit and impregnate her because they feel like she'll be a good mother. And that's definitely what I saw in this situation. Everyone saw it from a mile away. And even though the baby's very beautiful, and I know that that's like a blessing in her life, she did not have to have that child at this point in her life. Fuck the career. She's younger than 25. Your brain isn't even fully developed, And not everybody wants to wait until they're 30 to have a baby. Some people genuinely do want to be mothers. But if you didn't have that plan before you met this man, why all of a sudden is that your life purpose now? Like, I call bullshit. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about that, and I'm gonna show you guys some clips as well.
To me, DMing her.
Okay. And you were dating Halle, so.
Yeah, but we was like going through a really, really, really rough patch. And it was kind of, yeah. So I was just like, being petty, type shit. But I had no intention, like I did in front of her. I had no intentions of actually linking with Ruby,
Yeah.
She's seen it. Like, imagine you arguing with your girl or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And, you get mad at her for something that, you're mad, right? You're like, all right, since you know what I'm saying, I'm finna do this, watch this type shit, you know what I mean?
Oh, so you actually showed her.
Yeah, I feel like people thought that I was like sneakingly like, ooh, what you doing type shit. And that's when she posted, I know what type of girl she is. I knew she was.
So I was wondering, did you guys catch that? He literally said, I know what type of girl she is. So it's definitely giving Madonna-Whore complex. And I wanted to go over the signs that Google told me about like narcissism and stuff like that. And we're going to pinpoint that literally this is giving textbook narcissism. So when we started seeing that Halle and DDG were first started dating, he was already done devaluing and doing a smear campaign on Ruby Rose and slut shaming her. And at that point, she was able to be used as triangulation against Halle. And this is why you see him saying that he texted her right in front of Halle to basically get these two girls that actually probably would have been friends if it wasn't for him, to not like each other and to see each other as the enemy instead of him. And Ruby was never going for that. But it seems like Halle did, because she said some shit like, the devil was at play. And I'm like, girl, that's that nigga. He the devil. So, yeah, we're going to get into the signs on how she was so easily manipulated. Another thing is, basically, Halle was considered the bad guy for wearing his ex's shirt, and then Ruby was considered the bad guy for like basically still being stuck on him, or saying that because she says something like DDG was her favorite ex. So basically it looks like these two girls are fighting when it's really him pulling the strings. And I could tell that this was coming because of all the different ways he was trying to like slut shame her, judging her for being sensual in some of her music videos, and the whole Usher thing. Usher really be breaking people up. Usher was trying to feed her a cherry on stage or something like that. And Halle, she was just smiling. She has like this big smile. And I guess DDG thought her mouth was open. So he takes the cherry and feeds it to Halle himself. But he keeps like bugging her, saying like, oh, like, why was your mouth open? Da, 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 da. So men will literally do that. They will accuse you of doing whatever it is they're doing. Because there's been a lot of blind items saying that he's been literally cheating on her this entire time anyway. So now that he's officially devalued her to, how he said all girls are the same, basically putting her in not necessarily the slut, but then again, not necessarily oh so innocent type of box. We're also going to get into why not necessarily why men have this psychology, but why women choose not to believe other women when we tell these girls that. Because a lot of the time in this community, when it comes to like baby mamas and stuff like that, people just don't want to hear the truth. So we're going to get into why that's happening as well. Also, when it comes to the whole Cardi B and Offset thing, I'm pretty sure that's just a publicity stunt. They are so lame. But there is something that Offset said that I'm pretty sure people are saying in the comments, so they're just doing all that shit for attention and rage bait. But one of the things people were saying was that he said was, "You're my baby mom, I won." And whether it's a PR stunt or not, that is how a lot of men feel. Once they impregnate you, it's more than just humbling. It's like a way of them. I don't know. Becoming a mother is a beautiful thing, but it does, you have to get rid of one thing to get something else. And you can't go back to who you were before. And men love taking that away from women and leaving them worse. A lot of men just want to leave you worse than how they found you. That's literally all they want. That's why women tell other women, like dating coaches, when you're on a date, tell that man that your ex did everything for you. Because anything bad you say your ex did to you, that nigga gonna want to double it. So it says here that the devaluation phase is a stage that the narcissist abuse what does it say? A stage in the narcissist abuse cycle when a narcissist begins to devalue their partner after the idolation phase. During this phase, narcissists may be critical. The narcissist may become critical, dismissive of their partner, and also make backhanded compliments and give excuses for poor behavior to their partner. So one of the times I noticed when he did this, when he tried to act like he didn't know what the Little Mermaid was, or even like what the movie was about, and act like he never seen it. Like that's very much a backhanded compliment. And then it also says gaslight. The narcissist may accuse their partner of things they didn't do, which can make their partner question their memory and sanity. And he definitely accused her of sleeping with people and flirting with people that she never had the intention of doing that with. And even though he knew it wasn't true, he still wanted to punish her for it and for her to feel guilty for it. Withholding affection. The narcissist may withhold physical affection, emotional, or sexual intimacy from their partner. And him showing interest in linking up with his ex whilst in the middle of an argument with his current girlfriend, that gives, I'm going to give someone else my emotional availability, but not you. Also playing the victim. We already know he does that. He'll say some shit as a joke or some shit like that. And then manipulation tactics. The narcissist may use manipulative tactics to control their partner's emotions and behavior. And he must be like really good at that, because Hallie, I think she comes from a really good family. I think she's a really, good girl that has a good head on her shoulders, and I'm pretty sure that was the way he was able to get away with all this, by making her feel like things were her fault. Hallie is also an Aries. Aries is a very we love really fiercely, and my Venus is an Aries, so I'm definitely an expert on Aries when in love, and we like to prove things to our partner. We are kind of like a masculine sign, so we would go through the ends of the earth just to prove things to our partner. And when we're the type of people like where it's us against the world, not us against one another. And speaking of one against one another, DDG is a Libra, which is a sister sign to Aries. They're not very compatible at all. But Aries is so competitive that they'll see it as a challenge. And they're a masculine sign. They enjoy the chase. So they'll see it as, not like I'm going to make you fall in love with me because there already was a connection there, but I'm going to keep you here. I'm going to make you feel like you can't get this anywhere else. And even though that may be true, because Aries can sometimes be like the ideal lover and want to make things super perfect, that can really turn a guy off and make him feel like you're not authentic, like he can't trust you. And I'm like low-key psychic, so sometimes when I focus on something too much, I can pick up on certain things. And we're going to get into like the spiritual aspect later, so if you're not into spiritual stuff, you can go ahead and click off now. But when I pick up on this, I can like feel them arguing over certain things, like him saying things like, I can't trust you, you're an actress, how do I even know you're being real right now? Little shit like that to make someone second guess themselves and feel like they have something to prove. So that's definitely something that I picked up on. And these signs again are not that compatible, not in love, not at all. But when it comes to the Libra men are good for business. They're good for friendship. If you're an Aries woman, you should not consider to pursue anything that involves commitment with them. They're good for in the moment. And they like to they like to do certain things that it might not be that compatible with an Aries. But what I am surprised is that Hallie has been really quiet about this whole situation. Usually by now, DDG will say, haha, you guys are so gullible. It's just a joke. But no one's really said anything. So I have a feeling that they've been broken up for a while and that she basically wanted to try to rekindle this relationship before he just called it quits. And I find it funny that he waited until, she was really comfortable to pull away. And a lot of narcissistic men will do this. When you're up and you're moving around and you have a good business going on, and this is how you know when a nigga hates you. If a nigga do some shit before your birthday or before a big test or before a big interview or before a big day where you're meant to be celebrated and he makes it negative, he hates your guts. There's no way around it. But yeah, he was doing stuff like that. And so I knew that this wouldn't last, unfortunately. But if he would have been pulling this shit when she was still doing her Little Mermaid campaigning, she would have dumped him. But he waited until she got pregnant, she got comfortable, she put all her eggs in one basket with him to say, you know what, never mind, I'm bored, bye. So it's definitely given narcissist, and I just want to send my prayers to her and her family. I am 100% confident that Hallie is going to be just fine, and I don't think that the baby is going to stop anything. In fact, I think people are going to support her even more, but unfortunately it's going to be because of sympathy and not because of the hard work that she's put into her career. I don't think it's going to last forever, of course, but I'd rather her shine for the work that she's done and how talented she is than some guy and the baby she had with him and what she can do despite that, if that makes sense. So yeah, this was very unfortunate, and I wish her nothing but the best. So thank you again for watching, and have a beautiful day. Now, wait a minute. I forgot to show you guys this picture. Someone said DDG, the uncalled for rapper and father of Haley Bailey's child Halo, revealed that he and Hallie have ended their relationship. Damn, Halo didn't even get a whole year of his parents being together. We're sure he will pop out with a biracial Instagram model soon. I'm like, damn, how are Exoticals to blame? We didn't even do nothing. And if anything, Ruby Rose was trying to warn her. So, again, I just wanted to point that out. Thanks, you guys.